Everybody right to go?
A day all Victorians have been waiting for.
That's one new case since yesterday. That's very good news.
But the real kicker, that one case might be an old infection after first testing positive in July.
That case today, the one that may well be an instance of shedding the virus, a perfectly natural process well after your original positive test, but we'll update you as that expert panel looks into the details of that case.
Which means
this could potentially be a day of zero, and it's been a long time since we had a day of zero.
Yeah, 9th of June was Victoria's last zero day, 133 days ago to be exact. And with that comes hope.
We are well placed this weekend to be able to make very significant announcements about a further step to opening.
With hints the ring of steel between regional and metro Melbourne could be scrapped next month.
I would certainly hope so, yes.
And South Australia already loosening the buffer zone.
If you live in a cross-border community, you are able to travel freely within the 70 k's either side of the border.
And for those Kiwis wanting to visit Adelaide, great news.
I'm pleased to be able to announce that with New Zealand people arriving in South Australia, they will no longer be required to quarantine.
You heard right, South Australia's in the bubble. And with Tasmania opening its borders to New South Wales in November...
It's fantastic news.
It is. And if Victoria can keep the numbers down, the barrier between New South Wales and Victoria could come down as well.
I would suspect we'd need at least a fortnight after restrictions have been eased substantially to be able to assess how safe it is for us to open our border.
This is an amazing story. It's a success story owned by 6 million people. And we're one of only 2 countries that I can see in the world that have brought their second wave under control quickly. And we've now done it twice, and we should be very proud of our success.
So for all the Australians who've been separated because of COVID, there's hope we could be together before you know it.
All working towards a COVID normal Christmas.
As long as Queensland decides to open up.
So we're very good at quashing the virus, but let's never have to do it again. I think we can move on, please.
It's such a good day, but I'm honestly too scared to get excited.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too scared. The idea of spending Christmas with family, all of that just makes my heart sing. But I get worried that we'd open up and then all of a sudden we might get outbreaks somewhere and then they'll have to close a border. Like, I'm scared.
Yeah, I can understand.
How do you feel about the key? Have you got family you want to go see?
Oh, yeah. Look, I've got some new nieces and nephews down in Melbourne who I've only seen on Instagram. So I love the idea of being able to go visit them at some point. Also, though, have some rallies in Queensland. So if the border didn't open over Christmas, would be happy if they came out.
The big question is one you raised a few weeks ago, which is how long after the reunion do you want the borders to go back?
Yeah, how long does it take before you remind that your family can give you the shits?
Yeah, and you want to hand it back.
WA, though, is a tough one. He has said he wants every state to have 28 days of no COVID before he would open up the borders. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we could be looking mid-next year.
But WA is trying to become a separate country by stealth.
Not.
No, they are.
They're not.
No, let's just call that what it is, Carrie.
No,
That's what's
not.
happening.
I've got family there, Waleed.
Yeah, and you'll need a passport to visit them.
Stop
That's
it.
fine. Do you know what's interesting, though? That's part of the debate we've all had about did Daniel Andrews go too hard? Should he have come out earlier? One thing it seems like we've forgotten about is how other states react. So imagine if Victoria didn't pursue that kind of quasi-elimination strategy. It might mean you never get to Queensland. It might be... I haven't even thought about that until this moment.
No, I haven't either.
Good point.